Hi all, a very good morning. Welcome to KGS Tech Stack demo session. And in this demo session, we are going to discuss about what is Stack and how do we use Stack in the real time. And we'll also explain about also discuss about the project in detail. Let's start with Stack. Stack stands for Statistical Analysis System. Stack stands for Statistical Analysis System. This tool is this tool can be used for multiple purposes, right? This tool can be used as an ETL tool. This tool can be used as a reporting tool, and this tool can be used as a statistical tool. So when I say about ETL tool, which we already know that it is a extract, transformation, and loading. It's extract, transformation, and loading. So in the real time, we can use the SAS for an ETL project. So just let me give you a basic idea of what is an ETL. For an instance, let's suppose that we have data from different sources. For an instance, I have my customer related information in the Oracle database, and I have my transaction related information in the Teradata database. And you need to generate a report and give it to the user in such a way that you want to see the customers who have done their top 100 transactions, customers with the top 100 transactions. We wanted to generate a report. So for this report to create, we need to extract the data from the customer table in the Oracle database, and we need to extract the data from the transaction table in the Teradata database. So since these two sources of the data are from two different databases, and we need to combine the data from these two different sources and apply our business logic, and then finally create the report and give it to user. So suppose this is what you have to do. Now we need a tool, we need an interface in such a way that it can connect to either any of the databases, or to make it simple, it can be even a file system as well. So we need to have such a tool which can extract the data from the sources and then apply our business logic and then create the report that you are looking for. So to do that, SAS is one of the best tool available in the market to solve your purpose. By using SAS, you can connect to the source like Oracle, fetch the data. In this scenario, in this example, we can connect to the Oracle database, get the data, all customer related information from this Oracle database, and create a staging data set. And then connect to the Teradata database, get the customer related transaction related information, and create a staging data set. So once we get the customer and the transaction related information in the staging or a temporary area, we can perform the join operation, and we can apply the other business logic, such as in the report that you are going to create in the final report, it wants to have the customer ID, customer transaction amount, and the customer age. Suppose this is how the report looks like. In that scenario, I need to have the age in the report I'm going to create, but in the source table where in the customer related customer data set, I don't have the age, but I have the date of birth. So you need to create a new variable from the existing variable by name date of birth. So by using the date of birth, I can calculate the age by using the SAS function. SAS is one of the main feature of SAS, and one of the main advantage of the built-in functionality. We have numerous number of functions that are available in SAS that make our life easier. So by using this function, I can create the age, I can calculate the age, okay, and then I can finally create the report. This entire process, we can call it as a ETL. E stands for extraction, where we connect it to the different sources like Oracle and the Teradata and fetch the data, which is called extraction. And then the transformation. Transformation is nothing but applying the business logic or modifying the data as per your requirement. In this scenario, I calculated the age variable. I calculated the age variable based on the data of birth. That's a transformation. And finally, we are loading this data, creating a report from this data, which is called loading. So this process is called ETL. SAS is an ETL tool. SAS is an ETL tool. Best fit for one of the ETL tools. And SAS is also a reporting tool. We can create wide variety of reports using SAS. We can create wide variety of reports using SAS. So these tools, and apart from that, SAS can also be used for the statistical and analytical purpose. Basically, the SAS, one of the core advantages of SAS is with the analytical power, the statistical procedures, the statistical functionalities that it have. It is one of the best tools available in the market for the analytics, perform analytics and statistical operations. So this is what SAS can do. And what are the drawbacks of SAS? Of course, just like every coin is having two faces, even SAS will also have some drawbacks. I don't say it is a drawback exactly, but the problem is that the licensing cost. The licensing cost of SAS is a bit higher when compared to other tools in the market. That we consider as a drawback, but okay. So these are the pros and cons of SAS, and this is what the SAS can be used for. And when it comes to the programming in SAS, SAS is such a programming language which is very easier to learn, and the syntax is simple, and it needs very less effort to become master in SAS, I can say. And SAS, the way it started, is all started in the year 1960s, where as a project in the NCSC universities, and later initially when it was developed to run on the mainframe system, and later it was evolved itself to run on different operating systems like Windows, Unix operating system, and now SAS is used in most of the Fortune 500 companies, and across the globe, SAS is used in one or other purpose, because SAS can be used for different. It can do a lot of things, right? That's the reason. And when it comes to the data access, so as I said, why do we use SAS? When someone asks you why do you use SAS, we have the data. The data is everywhere in different formats, but not the way I did it. SAS is all about right data, right time, and right format. SAS is all about right data, right time, and right format. It can read the data in any format from any source and get the information that you're looking for from the data. That's what the SAS is known as. And one of the very nice thing to know when you are doing the SAS program is not case sensitive. It's case insensitive. That's good to learn, good to see, right? And as I said, it can do a lot of operations like ETL operations, reporting operations, and it can perform the statistical and analytical operations. And the components of the SAS are very flexible, and the environment that was created in the SAS can be used for to do access any data, to manipulate the data, to manage the data, store the data, analyze the data, and create the reports of data. And that's what the SAS is for. And coming to the project, so what in the real time the projects we are talking about? For an instance, let's talk about a financial. Let's talk about a project in the healthcare, US healthcare. So in the US healthcare, where SAS is used for most of the products in the US healthcare companies like Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, WellPoint, Optum, United Health Group, like this. In these projects, the SAS can be used for, as I said, it can be ETL and the reporting operations. For an instance, let me give you a simple introduction, a simple example about the one of the US healthcare products. So in this project, we have different entities. When I say entities, what kind of data that you are dealing with? Since you are talking about the healthcare project, you will be definitely having the member, and these are the entities I'm talking about. We'll be having the payer, you will be having the provider, and you will be having the data like pharmacy data, and you'll be having the data like claims data, and you'll be having the data pharmacy, claims, and lab data. Suppose this is the data that we have. So who is the member, who is payer, who is provider, pharmacy, claims, and lab? Being in the US, we all know that the insurance is very important for us to survive there. Suppose if I'm the person who paid some premium amount to the payer. Payer is the person who takes up all your insurance cost and everything. Okay, suppose Blue Cross Blue Shield. So BCBS is a payer. So I paid some amount as a part of premium, and I joined the BCBS membership. Okay, so I am the in this words I can say customer. Okay, I'm the member. I'm the member who took the plan from the BCBS. Okay, so this is John is the member who took the plan from the payer BCBS. Now, who is the provider? Provider can be an individual doctor or a group of doctors, or it can be institute which will provide the healthcare facilities. Okay, so so is called the provider. And the pharmacy. Suppose that if a person who took the plan from a particular payer, and if he is sick, and he can go to the nearby provider, and he can get the treatment. Along with that, he can get the pharmacy, like what all medicines that you need to use. That comes under the pharmacy. So we'll be having the data related to the pharmacy, and we'll be having the claims. A person who has undergone the treatment and need to claim the amount that he has given from his pocket, suppose. So he will do that through the claim. He will claim the payer. Please, I spent this much amount of money. Please send the money back. Give the money back. Okay. And then the lab. The provider can ask him to go for some lab reports, and he can go and get the lab reports. So that data will be there in the lab. So in a typical US healthcare product, we will be having all these entities with us. Okay. Now let's think about let's talk about a project. We have all this information. So I have all the member data is present in the Oracle database. Suppose, let me so this is the member data I have in the Oracle database. In the Oracle database. Now I have the other entities as well. Okay, I have the provider data. Suppose the provider data is present in the Teradata database. Suppose, and I have the claim information. Suppose the claims information. The claims information is present in the suppose DB2. We put it into the DB2, and suppose we have the pharmacy information. We have the pharmacy information put in the RX. RX is present in the suppose Excel file. Suppose. Okay. So let's suppose this is the information we have. Let's talk about only this information for time being. Okay. Now, so as a part of your project, now we are dealing with all this data. So your project is all about handle the data. I mean, process the data from all these different sources, and use and apply the business logic as per the requirement. For an instance, the business user from the BCBS has asked me how the members are, how the members, the amount of see. When I say the US healthcare is not, they're just not doing the service, they're doing the business. Okay, so how many members are claiming amount more than what they have paid? Very simple, right? Because to get the membership, I paid an amount of suppose $5,000. I paid the amount of $5,000, suppose, but I am claiming the amount of more than $45,000, suppose. So in general, to make in the business point of view, yes, it's a loss for me, because I am paying $5,000 for the service, but I am getting the service of $45,000, which is a loss for me, because I need to pay from my pocket, from the paid pocket. So I need to identify the people of this pattern. So for that, to do this, I need to get the data from the member information, provider information, lab, claims, all this stuff. So to in this kind of typical projects, which is a typical ETL and reporting project, okay, we use the SAS mostly to serve our purpose. To serve our purpose. So by using the SAS, let me SAS as a tool. I will connect to all these sources. For instance, I can connect to the member sources, get the member related data, and then I'll also connect to the RX and get the fetch the data for the RX. And the same thing happens with the provider and the claim. So by one tool can connect to all these different sources, and that we do with using the I'm not talking about the technical part, where is the coding part, how do you create the libraries for the sources and how do you extract the data. We are talking about the high level of the project. So we can connect these two sources and get the data that you want. Suppose the member who get all the member ability information, create a table, okay, and get all the property related information, and get all the pharmacy related information, claims related information. You can get all this information. You can create a table out of it, and then once we get this data, you can join this information. So to do the joins, and SAS is a programming language which supports a SQL as well. So that's one of the very beauty with the SAS. We can do the SAS is having its own programming language, and along with that, it supports the SAS SQL queries. So that can be done using the proc SQL. So we can combine the data, and we can also do the merge in SAS. It's up to you. So we can combine the data and like this, and this is the output tables I got from the both. So to identify the amount, the claim amount, I need to get the pharmacy data, and I can do the claims related information, lab related information. So I'll combine all this data for each member. For every member, I will combine all the data, and finally I'll create. When I say combine, I'll join the data based on the key variables that we have, and finally I'll create one particular data set with all the information. So this data set is having the information about the each and every member and the amount he has claimed till now. So, and in this final data set, I have all the information. So finally, once this data set is created, I need to give this data to the user in the format that he is looking for. So it can be a pie chart, it can be a bar graph, and it can be a list report. It can be of anything. Okay. So how do I do that? So I can create the proc G chart in SAS. There are many procedures. Okay, where we can create wide variety of reports which gives clear and distinct information to the user. Okay, so that is done again with the SAS. And create the reports. So I can read all the entire the member related information, the consolidated information I have finally after reading from different sources and applying your business logic, and creating the final data set. And in this data set, I can fetch the information about the people whose premium amount is greater than and the claimed amount, and if it is greater than 40 to 50%, that threshold which will be specified by the business, that amount, and we can apply that condition and create the final data set and give to the user in the form they are looking for. It can be in the form of a SAS data set, it can be in the form of an Excel, it can be in the form of a pie chart or bar graph, whatever it is. And even the reporting is also possible with the SAS. And this is one of the very very basic example where we can use SAS in the real time. And also we can also use SAS, as I said, for the statistical and analytical operations like forecasting, calculating the risk, and we can also calculate the number of the premium, how they are paying the premium, and how it is affecting. They can forecast if this rate continues, how it is going to impact the business. So SAS is like a multi-talented tool. It can do many purposes. So in our SAS sessions that we are going to start, we are going to discuss about the SAS programming language and start the syntax that we need to follow, and how do we develop the programs, and what kind of scenarios that we face in the real time, and also we'll discuss about the project. Hope we meet in the class, and uh, please do share your feedback to the KG Technologies. Thank you. Have a great day, and thanks for your time. Bye.